Liberalism, set of political and economic ideas that advocate individual freedom, private property, and free markets as essential for social progress. Private property, exclusive right of ownership and control of goods and resources by individuals or private entities. Free market, economic system based on supply and demand with minimal government intervention, where prices are freely determined by the market. Rule of law, principle that establishes that all individuals, including rulers, are subject to the law, ensuring justice and equality before the legislation. Laissez-faire, economic policy advocating for minimal state intervention in the economy, allowing the market to self-regulate. Individualism, emphasis on individual rights, autonomy, and freedom, highlighting the importance of the individual in society. Adam Smith, Scottish philosopher and economist, considered the father of modern economics, author of The Wealth of Nations. Invisible hand, concept associated with Adam Smith, indicating that by pursuing their self-interest, individuals unintentionally contribute to the well-being of society. Individual rights, set of inalienable prerogatives and legal guarantees assigned to each individual to protect their freedom and dignity. Liberal democracy, form of government that combines respect for individual rights with popular participation through regular elections. Meritocracy, system where rewards and positions in society are distributed based on individual merit, talent, and effort. Minimal state, concept advocating for the minimal reduction of the state's functions and interventions in society and the economy. Non-aggression principle, ethical principle that prohibits the use of violence or coercion against others, advocating for the peaceful resolution of conflicts. Freedom of speech, fundamental right ensuring freedom of expression and opinion, protecting individuals from government censorship. Freedom of religion, fundamental right ensuring the freedom to practice, profess, and disseminate religious beliefs without discrimination. Freedom of the press, the right of the press to publish information without government censorship. Free association, principle advocating for the formation of voluntary associations among individuals without external coercion. Capitalism, economic system based on private ownership of the means of production and the pursuit of profit through the free exchange of goods and services. Natural rights, inalienable rights considered intrinsic to the human condition and often foundational to liberalism. Natural law, an objective moral order believed to exist in nature and that grounds human law. Deregulation, process of reducing or eliminating government regulations in specific sectors of the economy. Social contract, theory postulating an implicit agreement between individuals and the government where citizens relinquish certain freedoms in exchange for protection and social order. Austrian School of Economics, economic tradition emphasizing the importance of individual human action, free markets, and criticisms of state interventionism. Self-determination, principle recognizing the right of peoples to freely determine their political, economic, social, and cultural status. State of nature, philosophical concept describing the condition prior to the formation of organized societies and governments. Spontaneous order, a phenomenon in which social order emerges from individual interactions without centralized planning. State theory, the academic study of the structures and functions of the state in a society. Limited government, a political principle that advocates for restricting government power to protect individual rights. Subsidiarity principle, the principle that issues should be addressed at the most local level possible, avoiding unnecessary interventions from the central government. Negative liberty, the absence of external interference or coercion in individual actions. Positive liberty, the effective ability to act in accordance with one's own will, often involving resources and opportunities. Common good, the benefit shared by all members of a society in contrast to individual interests. Steady state, an economic condition in which production and consumption remain relatively constant over time. Say's law, the idea that supply creates its own demand, suggesting that production automatically generates enough income to purchase goods. State monopoly, an arrangement in which the government holds exclusive control over the production or distribution of a particular good or service. Reformist liberalism, an approach that seeks gradual reforms within the existing system rather than revolutionary changes. Free trade, economic policy that favors international trade without significant restrictions, such as tariffs or quotas. Non-interventionism, an approach that favors government non-intervention in economic or international affairs. Contract theory, the idea that society is based on voluntary agreements and contracts between individuals. Subsidy, financial assistance from the government to businesses or sectors to promote specific objectives. Liberal internationalism, a political approach that seeks to promote international cooperation and order based on liberal principles. Right to property, the fundamental right to own, use, and dispose of property and resources exclusively. Intellectual property, legal rights over mental creations such as patents, copyrights, and trademarks. Individual autonomy, the ability of the individual to make decisions and act according to their own will. Natural monopoly, a market in which it is more efficient to have only one company supplying a particular good or service. Law of supply and demand, economic principle describing the relationship between the supply of a good and the demand for that good. Liberal counter-revolution, movement seeking to reverse or resist changes promoted by revolutions, advocating for liberal principles. Progressive liberalism, liberalism approach that seeks to reconcile liberal principles with the need for social reforms and equality of opportunities. Neoliberalism, revitalization of liberal ideas, emphasizing free market policies, privatization, and reducing the state's role in the economy. Cultural liberalism, approach advocating for individual freedom in cultural and social spheres, promoting diversity and tolerance. I will make more videos like this. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and leave your comment. I made a video explaining all terms related to cryptocurrencies. If you want to watch, click here.